Welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute, your source of internet marketing inspiration.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute. I'm your host, John Henson, and had quite a few things I wanted to discuss this week, but I'm throwing all of that aside because there's just this giant breaking news in the marketing industry, and it's this explosion of this new software called ChatGPT. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. There's a story that came out recently talking about how Microsoft was investing something absurd like $10 million or $10 billion. I know there's a huge difference between that, but they're investing a ton of money into it. And it's this expansion and this proliferation of AI generated content. And there's concern about, like there's the extreme concern where it's like, oh, they're going to become sentient and take over all humanity and all that. And then there's the more practical concern of, will this replace like human copywriting, which is especially concerning for someone like us who that's what we do. Like, we're a content marketing company. Are we going to be replaced with AI? And I wanted to go into ChatGPT and just kind of play around with it, learn about it, whatever the case is, and just kind of see what its capabilities were, what kind of work it produced. And I wanted to share that with you all this week and kind of explain more about what it is. Because at least as far as I know, everyone's talking about it, but they really aren't showing a lot of examples. They're not really explaining how it works or anything like that. I'm actually, as I record this, will be attending, but by the time this episode comes out, I will have been to PodFest, where I spoke this year. And there was a huge emphasis and a couple of sessions on ChatGPT and showing people how to use it and how at least podcasters can use it. And so the overarching idea behind all of this is that it is completely AI based. It is pulling from all corners of the internet. They do, which I think is kind of funny, they do provide a couple of warnings on their website where it says, hey, this isn't perfect yet. ChatGPT might produce some very offensive and insensitive content, which I thought was funny because it's the internet and that's what a good portion of the internet is. But it's a free platform. You have to create an account, but you can just go to, search ChatGPT. I think it's the URL is chat.openai.com. It's fully open source. So, basically what that means is that, if you have the knowledge of coding and all that, you can go in and make updates to the source code and improve on it. And from there, it's pretty straightforward. It's a very simple layout. You just start a chat and then you can ask questions. I kind of looked at this initially from an angle of how we would provide our services to our clients. If we've got a team of copywriters here, they write blogs for a living. That's the majority of their workload. Is ChatGPT kind of the first question I was going to ask? Could ChatGPT replace them? And so what I did was I asked a question based off of maybe one of the blogs that we might write for a business law client. And I asked, what's the difference between an S Corp and a C Corp? And it could not come up with a response. I basically broke it first try. But maybe if I had done S Corporation versus C Corporation, maybe that would have spit something else back at me. But I thought that was very interesting. It's still, like I said, it's still early on. It'll probably learn that stuff over time. So then I asked, how does Google's algorithm work? And it spit back, I'll read exactly what it says here. Google's search algorithm uses a combination of techniques to deliver the most relevant results to a user's query. These techniques include analyzing the words used in the query, the relevance of the web page, the number and quality of links pointing to the web page, and the overall authority and credibility of the website. Google also uses machine learning algorithms to better understand the intent behind a user's query and to serve more accurate results. This is a complex process that is constantly being updated and refined by Google's engineers. So solid. It's real. I mean, look, and I Googled, like I quote searched a couple of those sentences to see if it was pulling from like exact quotes, if it was coming up with those words originally. I didn't get an exact match on that. So that was really interesting. But, one of the things that I, kind of looked at and noticed is like, look, the sentences are complete. The grammar is fine. It just I don't know. There was just something missing from it. And I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was. So I did a couple of other questions. I asked, what is an LLC? Went back to kind of our blogging approach, what we would write for our clients. And this one actually spit out quite, 4 paragraphs describing what an LLC was, pretty good. Then I asked a question like, how do you improve the quality of leads? And it gave me 10 things to do. So, pretty solid there. Then I asked, then I got brave, and because I wondered if I was going to break the system again or if I was going to cause my computer to crash. But I asked, will ChatGPT replace human copywriters? And what was interesting in the response that I got was that it was the second sentence that it spit back, and it said, while language models can be trained on a large amount of data and can generate text quickly, they lack the creativity, originality, and human touch that a human copywriter can bring to the table. Of course, that's exactly what they would want you to say, right? But no, but then it says copywriting is more than just stringing words together that make sense. It's about crafting compelling stories, understanding the target audience, and crafting messaging that speaks to them. And I think that's the key, regardless of whether that's coming from Chat GPT itself or not. Like I would have come to that same conclusion on my own and talking to someone about it. It's that, yes, you can generate content from artificial intelligence all you want, but it's still going to lack the originality, the voice, and the nuance that comes from a human mind and human-based content. And so the idea is like ChatGPT can be a great tool to get you started on a blog or anything like that. But even then, like, if you're out there trying to write your own blogs as a lawyer, you probably don't need something like this to get you started, because it's really, because like, like it's like ChatGPT would just spit out like the core of what you're getting at, right? Like if you're trying to write a blog about Chapter 13 bankruptcy, you already know what that is. So like if you go into ChatGPT and ask it, what is Chapter 13 bankruptcy? It's just going to spit out the core of the concept. You would still need to go in and add your own personal expertise, maybe a story about, what that process looks like or whatever the case may be. So where this becomes handy would be just a freelance copywriter who may not have that prior knowledge and wants to cut down on research time. That'd be great. I wouldn't even say that it's super appropriate for even our own copywriters, because we interview our clients on a regular basis and get their voice and get their specific points, so that originality and that creativity, as if it was coming from the lawyer himself, is still present in those blogs. And so, the big thing that I want you to walk away from this episode with is that, I think that's, Jasper is another big one, but ChatGPT, though, these sorts of AI based content factories is really what it is. Content generators. It's a fad. It's in that fad stage right now. Like there's a lot of excitement around it. People are curious about it. It's going to be the future, but I don't think it's going to be a full replacement of the way things are right now. I think it's an aid. I think it will help productivity, and it'll help copywriters be more productive so that they're not spending as much time researching. They're doing, they're crafting and they're editing and they're fine tuning the content. But the thing about it is like, you don't want all of your content to be 100% AI based, because you're still talking about user experience. It's well written, absolutely, but people will be able to sniff out the lack of genuineness in your articles, right? We talk about it, with SEO based blogging, where, if all of your articles are just full of keywords and links and not, your readers can tell that they're not the target audience for your articles, right? Like ChatGPT is never going to fully understand who your target audience is, because it's not going to ever get down to that individually based level, right? So, like I said, it's a good tool to help generate kind of the core of the subject that you're writing about. But if you, as the subject matter expert, are you already know about it, there's no point in having this done for you, because you already know what you're going to say. There's no need for you to spend a couple of hours researching what you're actually going to be talking about. You already know about it. And so, the Chat GPT, the Jaspers out there, a couple of other ones, like I said, good tool for some freelance copywriters. In the event that our team can't reach our client or, do an interview with them, might be good to, get some quick research done. But other than that, like, yeah, it's a new thing. It's a cool thing, but in the end, it's not going to replace humans, much like, self-checkout lines at grocery stores still haven't fully replaced cashiers or anything like that. And so, but again, as the technology advances, maybe that day is going to come, who knows? But as of right now, and for the next couple of years, I don't see this being a full replacement for copywriting. You still need to refine it. You still need to add your introduction and conclusion, like you're in school. You need to add, a call to action and all that. But other than that, like, yeah, it's a good tool. It's a productivity tool, an efficiency tool, but that's going to be it. So, if you have any questions about ChatGPT or any kind of AI-based content, I'm happy to chat with you, happy to talk with you about it. If you've heard something different, definitely let me know. And I'm really just interested to see what you all think about that as well. But that's going to do it for us this week. Remember, like you heard up front, at the start of the episode, please take a couple of minutes to take our podcast listener survey at spotlightbranding.com/pod survey. Thanks again.
Thanks for joining us. Please visit lawfirmmarketingminute.com for more information. We'll see you next time.